Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Laura Canfield Show, the Awaken to Happiness Now Global Series. Thank you so much for being here with us today. And today, Kim Regnitz is back with us. Yay. And we're so excited because she's going to be talking about activating the Ascension Codes and awakening to your divine mission. Some of what we're going to learn today with Kim, or some of what we're going to do today is we're going to talk about activating your DNA, raising your vibration as you connect with your I am frequency and begin to embody it. How all manifestation arises from this embodiment. Activate your level of awareness to the incongruent, ancestral, and/or multidimensional obsolete patterns that are ready to shift. And as we take live calls, because Kim is going to be taking some live calls a little bit later, everyone will benefit, as there truly is no such thing as personal work. So we're going to find out why and how that works. Receive clarity on your divine mission as Saturn goes direct and how that is important. Yay! And if you stay until the end, which I know you will, through the I AM Alchemy Team, Kim and her team will be offering a special holographic activation that's unique for the frequencies of the Virgo cycle and upcoming Equinox preparation. So, you know, the Equinox is coming up in just a few days. So there's a lot of energy already building. And so for those of you who don't know Kim, she was on earlier this year, I think back in April, and she is a multidimensional master, a vibrational intuitive, and a conscious channel of the I am frequencies, assisting others through the deepest levels of awakening and transformation. And Kim came in as an awakened, enlightened soul, always feeling the connection and comfort of being in nature and playing with the elementals. Being extremely sensitive, you would often find her in or around water. And in the late 1980s, around the time of the harmonic convergence, she experienced unity consciousness and her life changed dramatically. And then in 1992, again, she had a huge vibrational shift of awakening into Christ consciousness frequency. And through the intensity of this transformational shift, she experienced many upgrades, facilitating the purging of obsolete patterns and cellular memory held within her field. And, you know, there's a lot more that we can say about Kim and her journey and all of her wonderful gifts and talents, but I'm going to let her speak for herself and share what we're going to do today, including we're going to be doing a little centering process at the beginning, right, Kim? Welcome.
Yes, welcome. Thank you. I'm so happy to be back.
Yay, me too. I'm so glad because, I mean, I remember last time it was such a high vibe call. We had a wonderful conversation, wonderful energy and healing work. So I'm so glad that you're back with us to share more of your wisdom, more of your teachings. And I know you just came back from retreat. And so we're going to talk a little bit about that too, right?
Oh my goodness, yes. Speaking of nature, oh my goodness. So yes, totally immersed in nature where we were. So I would be happy to talk about that. Mm-hmm. So where would you like me to begin?
Well, let's start
hello,
with
everybody.
Let's start with the centering that you were talking about, doing the centering at the beginning of the call.
Yes, and I want to mention that I live in nature, and that's one of the reasons why I have the bandwidth that I have. So hopefully we're supposed to be getting fiber optics in our area. So fingers crossed, and if you all could focus that for me, I'd really appreciate that it would be sooner versus later.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes. Okay, centering. So it begins by just taking a few deep breaths and gathering yourself in from your day, from whatever is going on in your world. Can be quite intense right now as we are just in the disseminating phase of the moon, which is the sharing phase of the Virgo moon, just moving out of the Piscean energy. And then Saturn is direct today. So both of those things occurred in the middle of the night, or our time zone. But just find your center, gathering yourself. And if you can right now, just hold your spine really as straight as possible and just allow the energy, just allow the flow. And find your connection to the galactic center. Just become aware of connecting in with the galactic center and divine source energy, the galactic central sun. You might notice a feeling of expansion. You might not notice anything. It's okay. Just go with it. Just feeling your connection. And again, just check within and notice where you are. If you For some of you are fully not gathered in yet. So just begin to gather yourself, call yourself in. In other words, this is like your command central. Like you are your command central for all your multidimensional incarnations, aka past lives. And just know and begin to breathe in the heart field through your heart. And just know that you are a master. Just breathe into that. Just breathe into the heart. And as the rest, other pieces and parts and parcels of yourself begin to gather in, just notice what you're noticing in your being. You're going to invite all of the energy centers within the field of the body, the 7 chakras within the biofield, to recalibrate and harmonize with this heart stargate. The endocrine system, the pineal, pituitary, hypothalamus, thyroid, thymus, adrenals, pancreas, gonads, our creative juiciness. Just align and calibrate within this harmonic frequency of coherence. And then now activating the light body chakras as they align with the chakras within the biofield. Bringing the sense of the mastery here now. And then connecting through your central column all the way down into the earth, into the hollow crystalline core center of the earth, of Gaia's heart. And again, centering within the heart, bringing your awareness. And I like to put my hand over my heart, expanding that out, opening up those palm chakras, placing your hand over your heart and just breathing, and begin to sense the biodirectional flow from as above, the galactic center, and as below, from divine earth, from beautiful goddess Gaia. Just feel that energy. And immediately as this light comes in, it begins to activate your own light within your beingness. I'm going to state this first person, and if it feels right, just you can affirm it silently or say yes. I am fully embodied. I am anchored and aligned to Gaia and fully connected to my own divine source and guidance. I'm going to invite your electromagnetic field to repair, restore, and strengthen, and raise in frequency very slowly, whatever is right for you. It's all calibrated through your I am frequency. And taking a deep breath. Again, pulling more light in your field from as above, so below. All energy that does not personally belong to me, I send back to where it belongs, blessed and transformed. And I now call my energy back, blessed, transformed, and integrated with ease and grace. And really feeling this grace energy coming in. If there's any stuck patterns around you, just noticing grace, silver frequency ray of grace coming in and just releasing those areas. And I call forth my highest soul signature for me at this time. I call forth my highest level of awareness for me at this time. And I allow it to upgrade. I call forth my highest possibility, potentiality for me at this time. And so it is. I am that I am. I am that I am. I am that I am. And there's a sound tone coming in, and light languages come through the tones. Just take a deep breath in and just give yourself a little shake. Shake off anything that is leaving, is no longer valid for you right now. Many of you had a little shift. Some of you had a big shift. So just notice what you're feeling and notice what you're noticing. And sometimes you may notice that sometimes when patterns are coming up to clear, you may feel almost like there's an energy, like an agitation or an anger, that it's actually surfacing to clear. So if that's happening with you, or any pain, that's actually a good thing, because it's coming up to clear so that you can fully really embody with more of who you are. So, Alara, what did you notice?
I'm still coming back. I'm not actually able to open my eyes properly yet, so I'm kind of squinting.
Okay.
You can't see me, but I'm kind of like squinting because it's like I can't. I don't want to open my eyes yet. No, that was awesome, and that was so powerful, especially the tone at the end. I found the tone was like a musical symphony for me for some reason. It's like I heard all sorts of different. It wasn't just one tone. I heard all sorts of different tones, and I don't know. I'm good. I'm coming back. Yeah, that was awesome. Thank you. I'm just gonna ask everybody else. How was it for you guys? How was that little centering, opening process for you? It was quite powerful for me. So I'm back now. Yay!
Yes. So with that note in mind, I'm just getting to through my I AM Alchemy Team, which I'll go into a little bit with what that is. I'm just getting to do some harmonizing and integrating too right now. There we go.
Yeah, so people are saying it's very yummy, felt like home, very expansive, more open and peaceful. Loved it, feels so light. I was toning too, Nicole said. Awesome, good. Yay.
Yes, that's beautiful. If you ever hear me, and I usually get a warning like tone coming through, but yes, definitely feel free to use the sound with. It's most powerful. And you have your own special sound and your own unique signature that comes through that. So.
Yeah. So if you're feeling a little bit dizzy, just expand out or connect more deeply or breathe, right?
Yes, connect to Gaia's heart all the way in. There we go. Opening up those chakras in the feet for that person. Yes, what's happening is a lot of your energy fields are recalibrating, and they're not always in. Some of them are really spinning fast, and the other ones are not. So we're just going to bring in some more harmonizing for you and for anyone that's feeling this.
Awesome.
Give yourself a moment. There we go. And I'm noticing the body elemental just coming in and helping with this. Your own body elemental. There we go.
Thank you. I'm still yawning too. Which is a sign that the energy's moving, stuff is happening,
Yes. Yes, wherever you are listening from, you are actually, your area, your bandwidth is getting an upgrade. So this is really powerful, because I'm in north central Wisconsin, and everyone and everything that is connected with you, wherever you are around the world, that grid is lighting up here. So just know how powerful you are wherever it's like that saying, bloom where you're planted. You really are.
Yep, absolutely. All right, so all right, let's get started. It's like we already started, but yeah, let's get started. So let's talk about we're talking about what? Activating the Ascension Codes, awakening to your divine mission, using the new frequencies of, you know, Saturn being direct, as well as the new Equinox coming up, those energies as well. And you were talking about the full moon energies a few minutes ago as well.
Yes, well, actually, the full moon phase ended at 2:19 this morning Eastern time. So we are now in the disseminating moon phase, which this is called the third quarter, and it's a time for sharing. You may find it's more of an outward time. It's like taking all of the wisdom that you've learned from this last cycle, this Virgoian cycle, the cycle of Virgo, which really partnered up with all of the other earth energies that are so prevalent right now. And then so you may have the need to reach out to others to share whatever is going on with you. And that's, just notice that. It's a really powerful time for that. But then we had Saturn, which is a planet of responsibility, discipline, organization, and planning, which just went direct after the 5-month tailspin, which began in April 29th. So if any kind of time that a planet retrogrades, and the planets do not do anything to you, they just activate that which is there. It is the study of cycles. And Saturn is all about living your Dharma, and your Dharma, what your soul came here to do. It's gotten a bad rap, like, oh, square Saturn, and I don't get into all of that predictive astrology, because you always have choice, and that kind of takes away choice. So it's using that, like, how can I harness these energies, these cosmic offerings, if you will, to really bring forth the best of my divine mission. And that's how I use astrology, and I have all my life. So Saturn is, again, about your Dharma, what you came here to do on the soul level. If you're living your Dharma, if you're not, Saturn can be the great, like, I'm seeing like a tap on the shoulder, in more ways than one. And so Saturn's in Capricorn right now. So again, we have a lot of planets in earth signs. And then we have the opposing, the North Node, which is the mood of the public and the energy of the public, what we're here to all do collectively in Cancer. So that can be very emotional. And then just coming out of the full moon in Pisces, some of you may have had a lot of emotion surface. So Pisces and Leo are the two most creative signs in the zodiac. So you may have noticed during this last full moon segment, which actually started on the 13th or 14th of September, and then it went, the moon is usually full for 3.5 days, and then it just went into the third quarter at 2:19 Eastern time, early this morning. But you may notice more creativity surfacing and more like ideas. So now's the time with Saturn direct for you to really activate those and act on that. Because like all of these earth planets, all these signs and earth signs, Capricorn, we have Uranus, which is your brilliance, your genius. In Taurus right now, it's about placing feet under your dream. It's about bringing it here and anchoring it in the grids of the earth in 3D. So that is really what the ascension process is bringing it all here. We're not going anywhere. We're literally descending. Our divinity is descending. And the more we do our work, and what I mean by work is, and there really is no our work, it's collective. It's just our piece that we bring forth. The more we do that, more of our divinity can actually move into form. So all of these planetary cosmic offerings are really assisting with that. So
awesome. Thank you. Yeah, absolutely. And the thing is, you cannot manifest or create without embodying and being here on the planet. So embodying your energies, you know, all of them, whatever is available to you in this physical body, in this physical realm on this planet. Without that, you cannot really create what you would like, right?
Right, most definitely. Yes. And we're constantly, this is not about, okay, well, I embody my divinity and I live my divinity and then I will have a cushy, smooth life. It's not really what, I mean, we're here on a mission. If you look at it as a mission, And we're here to navigate a lot of different experiences. A lot of collective energy is coming up to clear. If you're on this call, you're already awakened or awakening, different processes of awakening. But really, mass consciousness is actually really starting to awaken very, very rapidly. And in 2020, it will be massive. And so they're going to be looking for everyone that they can get their hands on that has some kind of a semblance of balance. So it is really important for us to really embody that energy and to know that there's nothing here you need to learn. You already have mastered this in other timelines. You're here to awaken and bring your awareness to that piece. You have skills that you've mastered in other timelines. So those are all available for you as we shift our old patterns that are of who we are not really. It can be ancestral or multidimensional. And so it's a most auspicious time.
Awesome. Thank you. That is so empowering and so uplifting for all of us, who are working on developing our gifts, being the light that we truly be, sharing our gifts, working in the world, right? It's so empowering. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Awesome. So somebody just wrote, I spend too much time watching me if I have a video going. Just turn your video off because it's okay. So let's talk about activating our DNA, right? Raising our vibration as we connect with the I AM frequencies, and embody, because it really is about embodying our greatness, embodying all of our gifts, all of our talents, and then sharing those gifts, expressing those, using those, right?
Yes, indeed. Well, we can first start with our thoughts. Our thoughts are electromagnetic. And consider that at any given moment, 95%, maybe more, maybe less, are not even your thoughts.
Yeah.
There are thought forms that are placed collectively. So we are all part of one energy. There's how many billions of people on the planet, one being here. That is unity consciousness. That is the truth. And by the way, I'm going to do my disclaimer. If you resonate with what I'm sharing, beautiful. If not, let it go. It's okay. It matters not to me. It's about being who you are and bringing in what you're here to do. And you would not be here if you did not have the skills. There are many beings that wanted to be here at this time, but did not have the skill sets to actually usher this planetary source system into the ascension process, which is literally going to light body. And that's actually what is occurring with Gaia, with ourselves as well. Many of you have already ascended in other planetary source systems. So you are here on a mission. Everyone is here on a mission. But there are specific people that are here that have already done this path. And you are just awakening to that. And you know what is there for you. Sometimes missions are hid from you just because it's not safe yet. Because there are those, and I'm not going to go into this anymore, that's a whole other piece. But there are those that can read codes that would maybe be more of the service to self vibration. So this is, I'm speaking to the service to others vibration right now. So that is what you're here to do. Bring your special skill sets in service to others.
Right.
And it may just be working with yourself. Because as you start honing yourself and fine-tuning yourself, everyone that's connected with you benefits.
Yeah. Yeah, because you start to radiate a different vibration, a different frequency as you're working on yourself, right?
Yes, and people may either run from you or they'll really be attracted to you, or they'll notice you like, oh, did you get a new hairstyle? Or, oh, what's different about you?
Yeah.
I just had a big shift.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's the thing. It's like, it's not always about having to do for others. Work on yourself, do the work for yourself, and automatically you help everybody else around you if they want the help, Yes.
And that's a good point. And that's one of the things on my bullet points so there is really no such thing as personal work. It benefits everyone. There's one being here. It's almost like if you were to look at your body, I like this analogy that was given to me. You have your total container of your body, but you have all different cells and organs that do different functions. So the same is true with your body. And it all works in harmony, or maybe it doesn't. But the idea is we're moving toward more harmony, where everything plays nice together and it's like a beautiful symphony, if you will. And so when you do your personal work, so to speak, it benefits everyone. In other words, that's shifted and it's available in the grids.
Right.
Okay,
it's available in the grid. Yes. I like that.
Right.
Yeah. Awesome. And then, you know, because a lot of us, I know, you know, we do the work for others. And a lot of times we judge ourselves for not doing the work because we feel like we're not doing enough. So we're not helping enough of the collective, you know, or our family or whatever. And so we judge ourselves that we're not doing enough. We should be doing more. But even whatever we do helps everybody, right?
Yes. And that not enoughness piece is that's a collective consciousness pattern that's really woven deeply into a lot of religious programs. Not enoughness. You know, who are you to be brilliant? Well, you already are. So you're already a spiritual being. You've heard this before, having a human experience. And I like when people say, I'm only human. What you're saying, the word human literally means divine in man. And so you can't use that excuse anymore.
Right.
I'm only human. But I just wanted to say something else about working with others, because there's this big permission thing that surfaces a lot. So as you shift yourself, everyone connected with you receives. However, if you were to work with another, you can work through their I am presence, and that's their divine, which many people refer to as higher self. For me, higher self feels like a separation, a little piece of separation. It may be minute depending on what resonates with you. But when you really tap into the energy of I am, it's very different. So you can work through their I am presence. You can invite them in the quantum field. You can just be quiet, just be silent and go through, create a beautiful space, and then just invite their I am presence to connect with your I am presence. And that way you don't have the ego pushing against. Maybe there's a concept that you'd like to explain with them. And this actually is a piece in my package of special offer, which I'll go into later, about working with others in the quantum field. It's amazing what occurs. It's amazing how that works. And oftentimes we feel like, well, we're not doing enough. Well, you are. It takes the least little effort, because there's so much available help for us right now through our I am team. And if you look at your I am presence, your higher self, as a team of placeholders around you, like I look at it as my circle. It's interesting. I was in a spin class one day. I'm a moving meditator. I work out. I get a lot of messages during working out or doing dishes. And I was in a spin class one day, and it came through. My I am presence showed me this wheel, like a bicycle wheel, and you have all the spokes that go to the center where the cassette is and the whatnot. And so I was like standing in the center, and the I am around me was like the wheel, and all those little spokes had to do with a different aspect of my I am team that was available to me, that I could call on in the need of the hour. Even, you know, there's an I am team member that'll help you with your business, with relationships, with even opening up a jar or a window, so there's nothing you need ever do alone. And really invite yourself to begin to think of yourself as a team, as we versus, well, I am is very powerful, but looking at the team aspect, the unified field. And there's so much available for you. And in this I am presence, there are ascended masters, there are star beings, there are elementals, crystalline beings, all of this frequency. Okay, so I do not work with guides. I work through my I am presence. In other words, that any being that chooses to interface with me has to be of that frequency bandwidth. or I'm just not interested, because there's a lot of distortion, there's a lot of deception, and you can feel it. And some of it can be really crafty. You have to really tune in. Okay, does this resonate with me as my personal truth? Do I feel expanded or contracted with whatever is happening right now, with whatever guidance is shared? You know, always look at your own, what feels right to me. You know, always.
Whoops. So there's
I got on a little tangent. Go ahead.
So there's a question here from Creation, and they're asking, is there a way to make the experience that you speak of less subtle, more concrete here in the physical?
Less subtle, more concrete. Interesting. Less subtle, more concrete. Well,
I would almost more tangible, maybe or more of like a practical experience, right?
That's interesting. Well, we do have the Earth energies right now, a lot of the planetary systems in Earth signs. So it is being stepped down. What you think, so the more that we shift our own incongruent patterns, it becomes less subtle, and you literally embody light. So that would suggest to me that there's some blocked energy there that would need to shift or would be ready to shift. And you will find the magic and the mystical in the mundane, the most mundane experience. So it's levels of awareness. So call forth your highest level of awareness and start really working with the phrase, if this feels right to you, I am fully embodied. And start to look at yourself as you're already a master. You're not becoming a master, you already are. You're at the level of awakening and bringing your awareness to what you already know multidimensionally. So stepping that down into the 3D. So working with the Earth Star chakra, which is a light body chakra, which actually anchors this into the grids. So immersing yourself in nature is another really profound way, because nature has never gone into separation. And you will find, even being in the community of trees, it's just most magical. So it's bringing your awareness, ask each and every day to have your awareness, I am bringing my highest level of awareness for me at this time. And just play with that and see what you notice. And
awesome.
asking open-ended questions. What is the most magical, mystical thing that could happen to me today? That's a really cool question when you wake up. And not expecting an answer. Just stay aware.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing. You ask the question without having an expectation, without having it look a certain way or being a certain way. And, you know, from time to time during the day, be fully present, be aware. What are you thinking? What are you feeling? What's going on? Instead of just being on automatic pilot in your head, right?
Yes. Oh, that's a good point. Yes, in your head versus being in your heart. Right there, that is most powerful.
Yeah.
Maybe do a little play with this for a moment.
Yes, sure, absolutely.
Okay. So this is an exercise I love taking my groups with and various telesummits that I'm on. So I invite you just to be in your head. We know what that's like. Okay, we can be in our heads. Just be in your head. Just notice what's going on. For some of you, it might be you're feeling overwhelmed. And that's a really big sign when you get into overwhelmment that you need to tune in and align. Okay, so just be in that head now. And I invite you just to take your hands, please, if you're driving, I would reconsider, especially when we get into the activation, because even what I'm sharing now is very activational through my words and through the energy coming in. But I like to take my hands palms down, and I place them right at where my hairline would be, the soma chakra, which is the soul that connects with the body. And then just bring your hands and move down the bridge of your nose and just breathe. Bring all of your awareness below your hands. And just bring them down as you move down past your chin, down past the throat, the thyroid, past the high heart, and just right in the center of your chest. Just notice what you notice, just in your chest, placing your hands over your heart. And just let go. Just notice. Oftentimes you can feel the no thing, or sometimes you'll feel expanded. What you really are into is a 0-point field, because the heart is a stargate, a portal to omnipresence. Okay, now bring yourself back up into your head again. Okay, now the second exercise, we're going to do this a little differently. So get into the elevator. You're at the 10th floor. Push the 1 button. And you're going down. You're seeing all the buttons light up. It's another way of doing the same thing as the first. No one is able to get on the floor, on the elevator with you. There's no stops. So just see it going all the way through the numbers, the 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And it lights up. There's like a ding, 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 ding. Now you're in the field of the heart. Take a deep breath as if you're breathing right through this portal. So what do you notice with that? Do you notice how things may have gotten a little bit calmer, less busy, and you have access to a new level of awareness? Okay, so there's various ways of interfacing with this and playing with this, but I invite you to practice with it, because many times we are in our heads, and that's where the energy scatters. Many times when we have a traumatic event or something that's coming up to clear, a lot of us are out of body and we scatter our energy. Literally, the word ego, the energy of ego literally means, well, we've heard edging God out, but it means energy going out. So the ego oftentimes is of the head. And so by just centering and just even stating I am, and then dropping into the awareness of your heart, you will find the whole being recalibrates. Heart Math has done a lot of research and work with this. And I invite you to look and delve further into if this feels right. It's called heartmath.org, HEARTMATH. And they have what is called the quick coherence technique. And this is most powerful. And you're working with the electromagnetic field of the heart, which is 5,000 times stronger than that of the brain. You're actually connecting with the brain and the heart, the brain and the head. And then there's the vagus nerve that connects all of those. There's actually 4 brains. The 2 brains in the head, the brain in the heart, and the brain in the gut. And the vagus nerve, which is a network, a matrix, if you will, that connects through your nervous system and really connects all of those centers. And so that begins to calm. The breath work will calm that vagus nerve and will assist you in the heart. So what did you notice?
Definitely much calmer. More space, more expansiveness. No thoughts. I actually, when you said to go into your head, I couldn't do it.
Very good.
You know, it's like normally I'm in my head, but when you actually tell me to go in my head, I couldn't do it. You know, it's like so. Yeah.
Well, that's interesting because you can do the most mundane energy from the heart field, and the more we practice it, and the easier it becomes. And that's to the question that was asked: how can I make this more palpable? Just by doing that, it's huge.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Exactly. And it's something that you do consistently as much as you can, you know?
Yes.
It's not just once a day, but many times. So I did forget to mention at the very beginning that if you have a question, you can raise your hand or you can type a question into the chat. You know, sometimes I just forget. I get so excited about the conversation and the call that I forget stuff like that.
Well, I was on a bike ride before this. I knew this was going to be juicy. It felt really good. So.
So there is a question from Maria. She has her hand raised. So Maria, I'm going to go ahead and unmute you. 1 second. Is it okay to take a question right now, Kim?
Yes. Oh,
Yes.
I'd love to. Thank you.
Okay, go ahead, Maria.
Can you hear me?
Yep, go ahead.
Hi. Hello. I had a question. Laura, I think you know what I'm going to ask from yesterday, and I just wanted to bring my higher self in today and just see if she can.
If she's not going to get the same answer as yesterday, that's what you're wondering. Oh,
I know from what I'm more aware of something with myself from yesterday.
Awesome. So what's your question, Maria?
My question is, my higher self is wanting to a core wound, and if she could tell me what my presence wants me to hear and how to clear the stagnant energy around my mission to step fully into the details of it, the work that I know I'm doing constantly. Every day it's more apparent, I'm more aware of it, and I know it's individual, and if I'm ready for my next step, I'm so aware that I'm here to clear, especially the lineage that I'm from, and also everybody else along with it. I'm here to create anew, and I know that for sure now.
Awesome. So Kim, do you have
For some reason, I can't see you guys. I don't know if you could still hear me.
I'm here, but Kim is on the phone, so you can't see her.
Okay, that makes sense. I kind of got in later. You jumped in.
So what is your question, Maria? Is there something more that you're bringing in?
Yeah, right. Lately, I've been channeling, and I just keep hearing the voice. The presence is saying, "We're walking here together. We're walking this this path together." That's what I keep hearing. And then it seems like everywhere I go, there's a reminder that I've been here before, and my hands just start going up like we just did, and I bring it down. That exercise you just brought us through, I automatically start doing it. And it's like and then I walk into places where obviously there's collisions, accidents, and
okay. So what is the actual question that you have?
My question is, what do I have to do personally to elevate myself even more, to step into clearly what my mission is that I'm not aware of totally?
Okay.
Okay, so the first thing that I'm getting is there's part of you that's not in your body right now. So let's just oh wow. Okay, focus on that right now.
Okay.
Open up the chakras in the feet, and just put your hand over your heart right now.
All right.
And just speak the words "I am," if that feels right. I am.
I am. I am.
I am.
I am.
Okay. So there's a sound tone coming through for you right now, and I'm just going to clear. There's a little bit of chaotic energy in your field that we're just going to clear. I'm not sure where. I don't tend to go into what it is and what. It's like, don't pick through the garbage on the way to the dump. But I'm just going to use a sound tone here.
Anymore. I don't even want to see it. I just want to.
Give yourself a shake.
Yeah.
I saw bright gold light come in.
Okay.
What are you noticing? What are you noticing right now?
I'm happier. I'm feeling lighter and more joyful. Yeah.
And your voice changed. You hear your voice.
That
and
is
I
my
invite you to
I am.
listen to this recording. You can really feel that. Yeah.
Yeah. I
So
know her
Maria,
well. Yes.
work with yourself. Work with connecting and embodying this I am. And you're like a walking light. You're a walking vortex of golden light. And wherever you go, you will shift this misqualified, incongruent energy. It's not like you have to really personally go look for this. You will just shift it. And a lot of times it will happen at the edge of your field. Okay, and I do see another phase of this coming in more prominently. It's a little bit off yet well, I don't, all time is now. But I do see it coming in. I see it, but it's not quite, I'm hearing 3 months. I don't know, something really, so within the 3 months, there's going to be a notable shift for you. That's just what I'm getting. And take this and feel if it resonates with you as your person.
Yeah.
Yes. Just tune that in and see where that resonates for you. But what was your question?
I was just going to say, it's always from the heart with me. Yeah, I'm just going to relax because I'm trying to, in my mental mind, I'm trying to release and do all the work I could possibly do so I can, you know, assist. And I feel like you just said earlier, I'm not doing enough. But right now I feel good. I feel like I'm helping, assisting wherever I go. Yeah.
Yep. Let go of your figuring it out. Start to see yourself. Start to see yourself as an oscillating, vibrating vortex, a torsion field of light.
Okay.
And that you're having an effect. And you don't have to go anywhere. You can sit in your home and just bring that and just have that energy go out.
Yeah.
You know, however, I do see you more prominent with that. Let go of the need to figure it out, because that trips us up a lot. Yes. And also let go of what you're clearing and what that is. And I'm hearing that as almost very, very particular from my I AM team, that, in other words, really listen to this phrase: do not pick through the garbage on the way to the dump. Sometimes you'll have an awareness of what's leaving, but do not go into that. Just do not go into that energy anymore.
Yes, I've had that today. Okay, is there anything physically that I need to address? Because I feel like I do a really good job. Here I go with that sense of doing, but I maintain a clear conduit. I do. But do you see anything that needs to be addressed physically to anchor more? Because this is the anger that comes up and I don't know where it's coming from. And I know the field around me is rocking. There's people rocking it.
Okay, Maria.
Yes, here I go again. Laura, I'm sorry. I'm just not knowing.
Maria, we have lots more people with questions. So
I know, sweetheart. I know. Here she is. I'm sorry.
Don't be sorry, but let's give Kim a chance to answer your question.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, first of all, let go of the word. Okay, go ahead.
No, just that, finances. I feel like I need finances to establish this here on this earth right now. There's a need for finances. We need to clear this confusion that there's laying here, and I feel it all around me. It's always pulsing to the core of everyone, and it's a mistruth. It's not valid. It's not valid.
Okay,
it's not a valid.
So Maria.
Yes.
Maria, work with your root chakra, and know that literally the physicality is literally trapped light. So any kind of pain or negative energy shows you where there's incongruencies, and then just dive into that. So
I will. I'll continue to do the work.
Awesome.
Yes. Blessings to you.
Thank you, my love. Thank you.
Thank you, Maria. Awesome.
Thank you a lot.
1 second here. 1 second here. 1 second here. Let me go back up. All right. So Caroline has a question. I'm just going to ask it because I don't think she's online anymore. I'm not sure. Oh, maybe she is. Who knows? Caroline was a question. She said, okay, I'm having a hurt child moment. I keep hearing, but what's the point? I keep hearing, but what's the point? If I can't have what I want, what's the point?
Ah. And whose voice is that?
Caroline, do you want to unmute yourself? Inner child, she says.
Okay. I get mother's lineage. Yeah, it's almost like an imprinting that you stepped into, mother's lineage. Let me just see where that is here. Do I have a window? Yes, I do. Okay, let's go back here. Age, and I'm seeing age 3, 4. Let's go back. First generation, second, third, fourth, fifth generation. Whew. Oh. Wow. Fifth generation, I'm seeing a lot of the emerald ray coming in right now. And I'm seeing it surrounding this like golden key. And I'm seeing the golden key, it looks like one of those skeleton keys, and it's moving downward. And it's just coming in. And I'm seeing a lot of space created now. So the emerald ray is to the outside, but this golden energy is just moving out. It's just clearing this whole lineage and clearing forward on the timeline. So I just invite you to notice what you're noticing. I'm seeing this moving, it's coming in through the crown chakra, moving all the way down to the solar spine, root chakra, sacral chakra. And I'm noticing entanglements here. I'm just moving, like shifting out. Subconscious patterns, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Physical, emotional patterns. Oh, wow. It feels like there's some depression or despondency with this too. Just watch it. I'm noticing it change. Woo. Also noticing the back of the heart field. A lot of times when we have the back of the chakras, many times it's ancestral. Wow. Just taking a deep breath. Just tune into what you're noticing right now. There's definitely more to be done with this. However, this is a nice change already. I'm noticing a torsion field. I'm noticing the mental body now, the patterns, like it's almost like patterns within the brain are rewiring, reconfiguring. So it would tell me that there may be a trauma piece with this 5 generations back. Yes, and I'm actually seeing the adrenals, like the fight and flight response. I'm going to ask the adrenals to calibrate with who you are now. Okay, so there's some clearing happening with this too. There were some limiting mental concepts, entity patterns, just clearing this. You are healed and forgiven, lifted and enlightened. Okay, sound tone coming in. I'm going to use a scan tone here. This will just clear some of the residue. Open up those chakras in the feet, the knees. Ooh, open up those chakras in the feet. There we go, really. Okay, notice your soul star, earth star, chakra, 3 legs below your own feet. Just feel that energy there. Just connect in, grounding this energy. Okay, moving the tone back up. third eye got a nice activation. Very nice. Nice tune up. Ooh. Just notice what you're noticing. And if you feel like responding back, just what you're noticing. Would love to hear.
Mm-hmm. So she said, yes, 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 yes. All you said is true. I feel the swirl like a slinky all inside me. Thank you, beautiful Kim. Appreciate it.
Okay, so we're just, one more thing. We're just going to bring in some harmonizing and integrating. Well, there we go. There we go. So just, you want to notice what's different, not what's the same. And notice what you noticed. And then drink extra water, too. That's for everyone on the call. You want to drink extra water afterwards. You want to really keep a state of fluidity. And bless your water. Just put your hands over it and just say, I love you. And just bless your water and drink this in the next, especially today and then tomorrow and the next few days. Drink extra water.
Awesome. Awesome.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you, Caroline.
You're welcome.
So Linda. Linda.
Hello.
There you are.
Yep, I'm here. Kim, I just wanted to say hi, and you're fabulous, and I really enjoyed what you just did with Caroline, and thank you. And that's all I've got
Thank
time
you.
for. We have to go, but I love you.
Thank you, Linda.
You.
Yeah, she's running off to pick up her granddaughter.
Yeah, sending a blessing to Linda. I can see that. Wow, just some beautiful energy. It's beautiful, like it pink. It's like I'm seeing that she's receiving a blessing, and this will harmonize with her with driving. And I'm seeing watermelon tourmaline coming in for her. Just beautiful
nice.
Energy. Yeah.
Awesome. Good.
For everybody, by the way. It's for all of us.
Thank you. I'll receive it. Thank you. So I have a question from Dustin. Destin says, I'm having issues with a woman from my past life, I think, who keeps putting black magic spells on me. What within me needs to be healed in order to get her out of my life forever?
Okay, interesting. Let me just tap into, and his name is Dustin?
Destin. No, Destiny, but Destin.
Oh, Destin. Okay. Wow. There's something more that's going on than that. So when you're standing in your power, literally, when you are starting to align with your I am energy, everything else gets reconfigured. So that's the first piece. It's taking your attention away from somebody's doing it to you, okay, and looking at where you are holding that energy of separation.
So I just want to add really quickly here, Kim, for anybody else who may be resonating with Destin's question, please listen to Kim and receive, because it's whatever Kim is going to say for Destin, you can also receive as well.
Yes. It's first is stepping into your full power. And letting go of the victim consciousness piece, because no one does anything to you. It's invited by you. And it may not be conscious. There are many unconscious patterns running multidimensionally with this piece. But it's almost like I'm feeling like in another timeline when she activated she activated your power. There was something traumatic that happened with that. Most of us have had experiences of being killed for our truth. And so that brings up that fear, that cellular memory, again, of, okay, I'm keeping this at an arm's length from myself. I'm not fully embodying this. Therefore, I will create this other energy that will perceivingly attack me. No one can actually do that to you. Align with your I am. So just that's the first and foremost. And how do you do that? By just having the intent to do that. And again, I work with the field of the heart. Being fully embodied. Okay, and I invite you to contemplate this further. divine, whatever your connection with divine source is. So just bring in the energy of divine source, whether you call it God, whether you call it universe. Can you imagine universe or God having an issue with someone attacking the energy? It just doesn't connect up, does it? So that, I would say right there, this is all about alignment and moving into this energy. All right, and there's more work that can be done with exactly what these patterns are. That's more for me to go into during this call.
Mm-hmm.
And what are you I'm getting you have a piece for this, Alara.
I know, just basically what you were saying too. It's because I also, if you have the belief that somebody is attacking you, then yes, they can and will. But if you have the belief that you are stronger than anything else, that they cannot attack you. Yeah. And you are, know, when you are coming from your heart space, being your I am presence, knowing that you are God, creator, source, oneness, what, no harm can come from you from outside, right? There is no outside.
Yeah. And that's a good point. Yes. When you are operating in a service to others vibration, the service to self vibration, there's no resonance.
Yeah, see, because I don't have that at all. I've never had that, and, I don't think, I think it's just my mind, that comes up with those things. I really don't think it does work like that.
That can also be entity patterns that are coming in, and so any kind of limiting mental concept, any kind of psychic bonds, you just, to clear that, you just bring in the light and bring in your I am team around you, bring your awareness. They're already there anyway, and just ask that all energies that are any kind of limiting, whether it's entities, whether it's whatever that would be, is just bathed in the frequency of the light, and lifted and healed and enlightened, lifted and released. And then as this energy starts shifting out, you just call in more light to fill those areas.
Yeah. So that, go ahead. I was just going to say, I would just agree with you. The call in more light, call in more light, call in more light, and receive it. Sometimes we have these patterns that are playing that out that says that we can't receive, we don't deserve, blah, 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 right? All those wonderful things. I say wonderful because, I've been there, done that. But but the more that you can receive, the more that you can allow the light in, the less of those other frequencies will affect you. Because it's just a frequency. You're allowing the frequency to affect you.
Yes.
Right.
Frequency is so perfect, what you just said, frequency. So it has to be a frequency match for anything to engage with you. So shift your frequency.
Yeah.
and take your attention away from something is wrong, because a lot of times we create that when we don't want to. It's resistance pattern. In the deeper energy of that, there's a resistance to what's surfacing for us. That's not even you anyway. It's incongruent energy.
And even if past life stuff is coming up, let it go. If past life stuff is coming up, allow it to go. Don't get caught up in the story of the past life stuff.
Right. Yes, right there. If you engage in the story, you're going to create more chaotic energy, and you're going to create spinning parallel worlds that will create more of exactly what you're saying. And the same thing with repeating your stories over and over and over again of what's not working. Because you're telling the universe, bring more of that, please.
Yeah. Sorry, Destin, what I mean is the story that I'm talking about for you is the story that I'm being attacked by some woman's black magic or whatever. That's that story. The story that I'm being attacked, period, is a story. Right?
Yes.
That's what I mean by don't allow yourself to get caught up in that story. Just let it go. Awesome. Good.
Tell a
Thank
new
you.
story. Tell a new story.
Yeah, exactly. Tell a new story. Tell the story that I am empowered. I am strong. I am powerful, and nothing can attack me. And I radiate
Yes.
peace. I radiate grace. I radiate love. You know, tell that story.
Yeah.
Okay.
And get into the energy of nature and laughter, because that is a very high vibration.
Yeah. Awesome. So I'm just going to quickly, I know I missed somebody really early on, and I apologize that I'm trying to find it now, but I don't think I can find it. Nikki, sorry. Nikki had a question. Nikki or Nicole, maybe. And this might be, anyway, let's go with Nicole if you're still here. She'd love to know how best to release binding ties from attachment trauma and a codependent relationship that she's been in half of her life. She says, I feel like I'm in the fight for my life to extricate myself from a covertly manipulative and life force draining relationship. I feel I've released the contract, but the looping energy, empathy, keeps sucking me back in.
Okay, she's released it. Well, evidently, if you're having an issue, you haven't fully released it. Okay, so it's a relationship. I didn't catch some of that.
Yeah, it's a manipulative, life-draining relationship.
Okay, so she's no longer in the relationship anymore, or is she still there?
She's still there. She keeps getting sucked back in. She's released the contract, but the energy keeps sucking her back in.
Okay, so if anything feels contracted with that, then she hasn't really fully released it. If there's anything contractive at all, it's still there. Anything that is a charge, it's still, there's something else that has to shift. The first and foremost is the question, why are you still there? Okay, that goes back to the energy of worthiness, and I'm feeling the third chakra there.
Kids is the answer. That's why she's still there. Kids.
Kids. Oh, wow. Okay. Okay, so can she still be with the kids, and then okay, so that's like an entanglement. Okay, so let me ask you this. If your children were in this kind of a relationship, what would you do?
Yeah, what would you tell them if your kids were in this type of relationship? What would you tell them? I'm assuming she's typing.
Yeah, because she's teaching her children about dysfunction. And by taking a stand and really loving yourself and extricating yourself from the relationship, you are actually teaching your children more than you would know. And so it's about giving to yourself that, because it's affecting your children as well. And that umbilical cord energy, it is so powerful telepathically. So your children are receiving that connection, that conduit through you. And I don't get it's all released yet. Yeah,
she said, I'm working on it. 10 years of financial dependence. So she said, I'm working on it. Good. Keep working on it.
Yeah. So invite the universe in, invite your I Am presence in to bring in the resources that you can fully demonstrate the love that you have for yourself and your children. And invite their I Am presence in as well, that they be shielded from any negative energy that might spill over. Yeah, I mean, there are no victims. They signed up for this as well. However, I'm just getting to tell you that with the I Am presence. So
awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm almost okay. So I'm seeing I'm seeing dolphin energy coming in around this. I'm seeing a new possibility potential for you lighting up. It's just allowing yourself to receive that. But first, it's like making space for that by loving yourself, by really seeing the value in yourself. and working with those lower chakras, those first 3 chakras. The root chakra, the sacral, and the solar plexus.
Mm-hmm.
And there may be more work there. Well, there is. I'm hearing more work through the lineage on childhood patterns with you, with what you learned as a child and what you would accept. And it has to do with worthiness. And is there a strong religious background with you? Were you raised? I'm almost feeling a strong religious in somewhere in the lineage. That is almost like a self-sacrifice energy. So you may want to choose to do some other work with this.
Mm-hmm.
And if that resonates, I mean, I dive really deep with people. That is way more than can happen here. There's a lot of things interconnected with this. So.
Yeah, you might want to get a session with Kim, Nicole, and go deeper into this, because obviously we can't do that on the call.
Yeah. Yes.
I'm
I'm seeing a lot of dolphin energy though around her.
Oh, and she said, I have a picture. She said, I have a picture of me with a dolphin on my nightstand.
Oh, wow. Nice. They're really working with you. So just connect in with them more and invite them in. They're interdimensional beings, intergalactics.
Mm-hmm.
And they are really working a lot now, especially with emotional body. And children. They'll be around your children as well. And I'm really, my hair is standing up and as I say this to you.
Yeah. Awesome. Good. She said, thank you. I'll explore and connect more. Good. All right. So I want to take some questions from people on the phone lines as well, or, so Sandra has her hand raised. So I'm going to go ahead and unmute you, Sandra. Hello. Hello. Hi.
Hi, Sandra.
Hi, Sandra. Hi, Kim.
Hi.
Hold on. I'm going to unmute myself.
Okay. I have a huge blockage. At least I release a lot of energy. I do energy work. And I just wonder if you can tell me the best way to release it, if there is some kind of contract or something that is keeping me from being able to move forward. Because it's when I do my healing work, I really feel the depth of their trauma. And I release in a huge belch, and I may do that again in what you're doing with, if you can tell me what is going on with me, I'd appreciate that.
So what is going on with you?
Hold on. Sandra, can you mute yourself when you're not talking? Because we have an echo. Okay, go ahead, Kim.
So how does that, tell me a little bit more about that. What is happening when you work with others? And I'm not really understanding your question more. Are you noticing that you're taking on some of you mentioned feeling the trauma with others. So what is happening with that? How does that equate within your being? How does that feel?
Yeah, can you be more specific, Sandra? Like, don't be so vague.
Okay. When people are speaking, I can feel how deep it is in that person, and sometimes my body will start belching when they're speaking, and so that's and I've had this for a number of years now, but it is better with a lot of the work I've been doing, but I just don't seem to be able to get to the root cause, and maybe it's just layers upon layers of work to do.
So your body is reacting with what is happening when you're working with others. That's okay. Do you find you have a hard time? There's a really big echo here.
I didn't catch what you said, actually, Kim.
Yes, I'm hearing an echo back. Okay, so that's better. Okay, so let me tune in. So you're feeling the energy of that, and then you start releasing through your own being.
Yes.
Are you noticing, how are you feeling after you work with someone? Or do you still feel that residue around?
No, it clears as soon as the work is done. It clears. It doesn't bother me at all. It's just the releasing is disturbing to me, and other people don't feel that. They know that they know that the work is done because they can feel a lightness in themselves.
So consider that that's just one of the ways that you shift energy. You can ask your I Am Presence if there is a gentler way for me to, it's almost like a boundary thing, for me to assist them without having these physical releases or reactions. This may shift for you after a while. And I'm getting the word, the piece of trusting what you're doing and trusting what your being is doing. Sometimes when we feel like that we take on other people's energy, what is happening is it's connecting with a resonance that's still within us. Okay, there's still a piece that person is bringing forth, the connection, that there's still a resonant piece within you that is surfacing. So when you work with that person, you're freeing yourself as well. It's interesting who comes, who comes to us and who interfaces with us, and what gets shifted. It can be a multidimensional piece within ourselves. So it may be a way that your being is clearing that frequency, that connection that you're doing, that piece you're doing, as well as assisting them. Does that make sense to you?
Yes, that does resonate, actually. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I understood that I've been abducted by malevolent beings, and I know that I've never really had very good boundaries in the past, but I am working on that now.
Mm-hmm. So work with embodying your I Am Presence, and then also work with, like King Kong, your thymus, the higher heart. So take your hands and fists and just gently, like King Kong, put your tongue behind the roof of your teeth and do a gentle hum. And you can do this with me right now if you choose to. And just pummeling your chest, and at the same time do a hum. And take a deep breath. And you'll notice a little bit of a buzzing in there, in that upper breastbone when you're doing this. You're activating the thymus, the high heart, which on the physicality, it's healthy T cells, but it also brings in healthy boundaries. And then really making sure you're grounded, that is a really big key. Like connecting with the center of Gaia, really working with those feet chakras, really feeling that connection to divine source energy above you, and then connecting with the earth below, and then heart energy. So like tuning up and aligning your fields first before you work with anyone. And then just much like at the end of the session, you want to just bring in the light, call on the light to just flush this area and complete this. Okay, so what did you notice when you did that with that thymus?
I found myself releasing energy, and
nice.
Yeah, and that was, I had a little bit of pain in my left shoulder, but I could feel the energy moving.
Okay, so that's just moving out right now. Yeah, and I'm noticing the emerald ray just coming right down through your whole being. It's just like flushing through. And it's mixed with this beautiful opalescent ray. That's a frequency. And the opalescent ray contains all of the energy, all of the rainbow patterns. And I can see that interfacing with the cells and releasing. So there's a different frequency within this rainbow, this opal ray, that's interfacing with the various cells. Like I'm noticing the red is moving through certain cellular atomic and subatomic particles. And then the green and the yellow and all of the colors of the rainbow frequency. And I'm actually seeing the rainbow dragon with this too, coming in around you. Oh, wow. I'm calling in the dragons through the I Am frequency. are very powerful because they're elemental beings, and they were the original ley lines of the earth. And that will help you also stay more grounded. And I also recommend that you too as well, getting out in nature, especially around trees. The trees have so much to offer, every one of you, every one of us. If you just go and even find a special tree. And there's a community with trees. And HeartMath has been doing some studies with the trees. And I like to just align my spine with them, just connecting with them. And in our retreat, we actually hiked an old growth forest. That was very, very powerful. And we were seeing we were feeling and experiencing the Sasquatch, the ancient beings, the ancient ones, the intergalactics that were so prevalent around this area. And so a tree, if there's a tree that is ailing, the other trees around it will rally and assist their energy or the chi for that one tree. So there's such a unity, a unified field with the trees. That's just really coming up with me. And that will help you stay grounded as well. Does that resonate with you?
Yes, it did. Yeah, and I had a huge release. That was fantastic. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Good. Thank you, Sandra. So we're going to take just 2 more quick questions, because then we still want to do the process, the activation, and we want to talk about the special offer. So we're just going to take 2 more quick questions. So Simona, I'm going to go ahead and unmute you.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
So I'm happy and grateful how I'm moving on the awakening path, and a lot of wonderful stuff is coming towards me. Still, I'm somehow struggling with a restlessness or an anxiousness, which mostly manifests by biting nails, which I have it since childhood, and maybe it's coming from parents and ancestors, and whether I could have some insights on how to clear this or dissolve it or make peace with it.
Oh, okay. Wow. Your name is Simona or Simone? Did I get that right?
Simona.
Okay. Well, blessings.
Yes, Simona.
Thank you.
Okay. So first of all, I'm seeing a lot of you. You're like half out of your body right now. So let's just focus on bringing you in to see where you want to come in. Did you have what was your childhood like? Was there some trauma going on as you were a small child?
As very small, I don't remember. At some point, maybe 10,
okay.
Some sexual thing, but which somehow I repressed.
Yes, that's what I'm sensing. There's a lot of trauma at childhood, and that's so what this is anxiety pattern. And the first thing I went to was your heart field. It's starting to percolate up, and there's a lot of heart walls connected with this this trauma and this abuse patterns and such. But it's almost like you haven't fully come into your body yet. Okay, let's just see what shows up here. Oh, and it almost feels like not safe. Would you say that? Do you spend a lot of times feeling like just not safe to come fully in, like fully express who you are?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, so you're coming back a little more because I could hear your voice. So just let that process coming in. And I'm just tapping into the energy. I love the Young Living Essential Oils with the frequency. I'm just working with gathering right now and Sacred Mountain, just bringing you in as far as you're ready to come in. I can still see a little piece of you that's going, no, 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 no. Okay, so just bringing that in. I'm also seeing the energy of crystalline being of carnelian right below you, root chakra, and then below, I want to say, Yeah, the omega area, and then moving down knees, down the chi meridians, ankles, and feet. And I'm seeing myself actually holding your feet right now. And I'm feeling a lot of emotional body, like a roller coaster. Like when I see myself just, and I'm just observing these changes happening. I'm not doing anything. It's through your I Am presence and my I Am Alchemy team. But when I tap into that energy around your feet, I'm just feeling like this, like a roller coaster ride. It's just like shaking and vibrating, really intense. Okay, so I invite you, I'm just seeing myself just holding your feet, and just invite you to breathe. Just take a slow, deep breath. And I'm going to use a tuning fork here, and this is vibrating in the 520 hertz. It's the energy of love. And hopefully it's coming through here.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm noticing the base of your spine. There we go. I'm also noticing the crystalline being lepidolite coming in. And that's it has a high lithium content. It's very calming. I'm also seeing amethyst all around you. The violet ray around you, moving, there's a beautiful torsion field moving right around you, going right down into the Earth star. And it's almost like there's a magnetic energy that's like pulling your feet down more. You haven't really fully, some of these trauma pieces are keeping you out of your body a lot. And what happens when you do that, so this is not about leaving your body, and many of us have learned that because of trauma that we've experienced. We're out of here. And so what happens is other energy moves in. And it can be energy that's just not very, it can be energy of just not in your best interest. Pardon me, there's a truck going by here. It's harvest season here, so. Okay, so what are you noticing right now?
My chest is pulsating somehow.
Your chest is pulsating. Good, good. So I invite you to place your attention on your feet, and then just be aware of your chest. Just take a deep breath, like you're breathing right through the chest area. Okay, so I just saw one of the heart walls. Just, it's almost on the left side here. Just move, and I can feel a lot of emotion. You may notice that you have some emotion that shows up, whether it's on the call or later. Just let yourself express it. I invite you, if this feels right, to go into an Epsom salt bath with some sea salt and just let yourself release. There's some emotional body. There's a lot of work that still needs to be done with some of these patterns, these abuse patterns. And then just the trauma piece. I'm also noticing at the base of the skull, the medulla oblongata, the psychic gateway, that's like reconfiguring. I'm seeing a lemniscator figure 8 that's repatterning back and forth. Okay, just take a deep breath. Okay, sound tone coming in. There we go. Let that go through. Are you having some emotion come up?
I just feel like floating and somehow
Melting?
floating and yeah, like my body's moving up and back, like,
Swaying.
yeah, a swing.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yes. Beautiful. Okay, so I'm just going to bring in some harmonizing and integration. This is going to start moving some of this out. So be very gentle with yourself. You may choose to do a session if that feels right, because there's more work here. However, for the purpose of this call, this is what we can do for now. Just bringing in beautiful pink energies coming in, harmonizing. This rose, the color of rose. This is just really beautiful energy. There we go. And I'm just seeing you giving yourself an energetic hug and just saying to yourself, I love you. And there's many of us here. There's many divine beings that are surrounding you and holding you in this beautiful energy.
Yes, I feel it.
And I'm really noticing Saint Germain working with you very strongly. He's of the violet ray, and really is just transmuting. And just take a deep breath. And you may, again, want to take that Epsom salt bath and sea salt if that feels right. If you want to do like a cup or two, a cup and a half of Epsom salts, and then a cup of sea salt, and just let yourself in the bath, a warm bath, 30 minutes, and just let yourself sweat. You might want to light a candle. It's a very powerful ritual. And it may bring up some emotions, I'm just telling you that. And that's a decrystallizing, so that needs to come out.
Okay, Simona?
Thank you. Yes. Thank you.
You're
Awesome.
welcome. Blessings.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Awesome. So, all right, so I'm not sure if we're going to get a chance to do any more questions. We'll see, but let's take a moment, Kim, and talk about the special offer. It's slightly different than what we had before. So for those of you who are on the live page, you can just click on special offer. And those of you who are not, you can go to alara.at/show/Kim9. And I'm going to share my screen so that the folks here can see it. So 1 second. Kim can't see it, but that's okay.
Yes, and I haven't even looked at the page yet. I'm just assuming it's beautiful. I'm sure it is.
No worries. So there's 3 packages this time, package A, package B, and package C. So package A is a collection of MP3s and PDFs. Package B is the full holographic transformational session. And package C includes everything in package A plus package B plus some bonuses. So basically, it's almost the same as last time, except we changed it a little bit. So Kim, do you want to just quickly talk about some of the MP3s and PDFs that are in the package?
I would love that. Yes. Yes, we added a special session. So I'm really pleased with this package because this came through right in the beginning of the year with the eclipses, the Capricorn new moon solar eclipse, and then the Leo energy. And this started that whole anchoring in that earth energy with the Capricorn new moon. And the Capricorn new moon is literally that anchoring in putting feet under your dream. And so the solar eclipse will actually assisted us in setting intentions to bringing the path forward, leaping and taking risks. So that's how this package was created during this whole cycle, from the new moon to the full moon, from the beginning of the new moon to all the way through the 4th quarter until the Aquarian new moon. So it's a complete cycle, and even what showed up with the MP3s were really amazing. And how in the center of that, center of the MP3s or the cycle, we had the Leo full moon eclipse. So that was really powerful because the Leo is the magical heart energy, the magical child, and one of the most creative signs of the zodiac. So I'm really pleased with this package and how it showed up. So this, with this energy and you connecting with these MP3s, you will actually, it's a key point in moving forward in your life. It's like a factory reset button. And it's very playful. My work is very unconventional, very playful. And so the first, there's an introduction and an explanation of the package. And I really recommend you reading that first or listening to that. And that is an actual MP3. And then there's a PDF, What is a Holographic Journey Activation, which is very different from a meditation. And so these actually came through my I AM Alchemy team. And I was given the title, and then I'm always interested to see what shows up, because that differs from a meditation. The holographic activation is actually the field of quantum potential and quantum possibility. Magically, alchemical magic and possibility potential. And so it's like synchronistic doors open for you through holographic activations. And each time you listen to this, you continue into the consciousness of where you left off. So the first one is really key. It's gathering and grounding. And there are many ascended masters and archangels, star beings, intergalactics that have woven their energy frequencies through my I AM Alchemy team through each one of these modules. But the first and foremost is gathering and grounding. Gathering your energy in, it's a holographic activation that will help you do this. Really important with any kind of manifesting and with embodiment is are you in your body? Are you grounded? And so this is what this activation is all about. And it was interesting because a lot of them, the three of them came up 3852, 3852, 3852. So I thought that was an interesting frequency with numbers, because 38 is the number 11, and then 52 is the number of 7. So there's a numerology aspect here with that didn't go unnoticed. So I thought that was really interesting. The second one is, let me just see here. And the gathering and grounding is really, there's strong elemental assistance. So this will help you align with your I Am presence. Most definitely. It's a balancing within the chakras and the light body, endocrine system. Again, this is all multidimensional in nature. So you may notice that you're gathering scattered soul fragments with this. Toning is also the language of light, is woven through all of these modules. That comes in through the tones and through my voice. There's tuning forks in Tibetan bowls as well. So there's a Fibonacci spiral alignment within that gathering and grounding. Okay, so we've gathered and grounded. The second is harmonizing your home and grids. This is really important, always through the I Am frequency. So this is a holographic activation. First, there's an explanation about what that means, and resetting your grids. Sometimes I'm resetting my grids. I get asked and I get told to reset my grids, or just invited or impulsed. That would be a good way of saying that. To reset my grids often throughout the day, especially with a lot of these cosmic shifts and weather patterns. So if your grids are reset, it's like the foundational work for everything else that you do. It's like an anchoring of your balloon that can expand and go out, but you have a harmonious space. And this extends to not only your home, but your vehicle, your office space, if you work outside of your home, everywhere that you're connected. So it's harmonizing your home and grids through the I Am frequency. There's also a calibration for geopathic stress and ley lines, as well as pets and family members. So this is really powerful. When I was on my retreat, I just want to share something about this. This is really interesting. So I was on my retreat in a most unplugged area. I facilitate a retreat called Transformed by the Sea up in Lake Superior, which is one of the etheric temples. It's the etheric temple that has to do with rejuvenation and revitalization. It's one of the 12. And I had worked 4 hours before I left, and I had not access to my computer and all my files. Well, all of the emails that I sent out prior to me leaving did not get to where they were to be. And so I had to walk my husband, who is computer illiterate very much. I mean, he knows a little bit, just enough to surf the internet. I had to walk him through on the phone up on the mountaintop where I could get reception on a stormy night with gale force winds, with, you know, sending my emails to my Gmail so I could send them out. Well, anyway, he was all over the place. And I could feel my cat energy coming in and say, you have to do something. And before I could even make heads or tails of what he was saying, I got impulse to reset the grid. So I asked Divine, I asked my I am energy to bring the grids up to where they need to be right now, reset the grids. And I could feel a calming down with him. And I was able to get him from point A to point B and having this happen. And I was just short of being in tears. So that's how, with having the rug pulled under my feet. What do you mean my emails that are like 4 hours didn't get there?
Yep.
So I'm just saying, this was really powerful. And this activation is very much with this. It helps you hold your resonance. But it's so powerful that your space is harmonized. So this will do that. Okay, so then we move into the third activation, which is help, I'm activating resistance is futile. So this happened around that full moon solar eclipse in Leo. So the full moon energy is, and this isn't what I had planned on recording at this time, but it was what was showing up. So the full moon energy is always, the glass is full of water and you're pouring another glass, you're pouring more water into an already full glass. That's what it feels like. It's like spills over. And so this is what was showing up for me. Help, I'm activating. Resistance is futile. I was creating, there was a lot going on from being pushed to the surface. And so this activation is actually assisting you in shifting those stuck patterns of whatever was showing up. Many beings assisted with this co-creatively, and this is really good for clearing density of what is surfacing for you right now. There were interactions with dragon elementals, orders of angels, crystalline, and especially the Syrian and Lyrian feline beings, which are very much guardian energy. So it's very effective and powerful for shifting energy. So every time you listen to this, and I invite you to listen to these like in sequence the first time if that feels right. Always follow your guidance, but you can listen to this when you are processing and things are surfacing for you. And you will shift where you've left off from the last. So it's not just I listen to this and I'm complete. This will continue to help you. It continues to upgrade through you. And it's alchemically set for this. Okay, so the fourth, I'm awakened, but they're not. So this is a joke. There's no judgment with this because we are always encoded to awaken at a certain time. But this would be like if you're dealing with your partner, significant other, your child, your family member, your boss, your friend, that is just not, you know, they're calling you crazy because of what you're bringing in, and they're just not quite on board. They're not fully awakened yet. So this is what I mentioned before about working with others in the quantum field and inviting them. This has an explanation about the process, and then it's a beautiful journey. And this actually happened, it was a journey that brought you into the Himalayas. And Babaji was present, and there were many beings that showed up through this process. And you were actually directed to invite your loved one in, or that being, through their I am presence. And watching the energy change and shift. So this is really powerful. And it's a journey, an MP3 journey that I work at present time now. I have a son that's 20, almost 21. He will be in February. And he's going down an exploration path. And I'll just say that. And it's most interesting. And where he will like resist to anything that I'm saying. He knows what I'm about. I can work through his I am present and get my point across there. And it's amazing what occurs and what the balance and the harmony that shows up. And so you're actually assisting that other person in their awakening process with this. And then the fifth activation is dragons, dolphins, and the elemental dream. And I have a client that attended our retreat just recently that she uses this activation when she's having a hard time falling asleep. And many of these activations, you may notice that you fall asleep or go deep. And that's actually a good thing. And it's really good not to judge that, because what is happening is some of you is uninstalling, like software is being uninstalled and new software is coming in. That's in alignment with who you are now. That is congruent with your ascension process. So this is a beautiful, magical holographic activation that begins with a centering within the stargate of the heart, and then moving you into a unified field configuration. There's beautiful possibilities with the dragons and the dolphins coming in, and it's just really playful and fun, and very powerful as light codes are coming in and frequencies. And this assists your own, it's assisted by your own elemental process. So this activation will strengthen your connection and awareness to what we mentioned before, the dolphins and the dragons, which are really working with humanity right now. Because remember, the dragons were the original ley lines of the earth in Lemurian times. So just very beautiful. The sixth is toning with my own powerful voice. So this is an activation. It's an instructional activation on how to use sound, and then also there's a clearing, alignment, and harmonizing, and creating and manifesting. And then there's always also a specific holographic activation using sound. So specific sound codes come in through a template through this activation. It's super powerful, and it will expand your own ability with sound. Sound bypasses the linear thinking, the mental body, the being in your head, and it will shift energy really quickly and very powerfully. So it will take your sound, and if you're new to sound, it's very powerful. It's also for the avid person using sound. It will take it to another level for you, multidimensionally. It may bring in language of light codes. It's amazing what these MP3s can unlock for you with other timelines and what you've mastered. And then the seventh is a PDF. I'm fully embodied, and it's much like what I went through earlier. I'm fully embodied. I'm anchored and aligned with Gaia and fully connected to my own divine source and guidance. I invite you to really work with this, especially within the first few minutes of waking up. It's so powerful, and you're aligning your energy with this I am field. So this is how to do that. So this package A is all of the MP3s that are very powerful for 111. And then the package B is this is like A or B. The package B is a personal transformational session. And like I mentioned before, I go very deep with others. You can look, there's a sheet, there's a PDF that's included with explains a little bit about what you may experience during a transformational session. And the session begins when it's booked. So you will start to have shifts, and you will start to release. Things may surface and so forth for you during the session. I have Saturn in Scorpio, so I go really deep in the 5th house, which is a Leo house. So I go very deeply with one, and in a playfully unconventional way. Very powerful for what can shift during a session. So that's B, and then package C is both A and both B. And that's, for the package B, it's 147, which is a really good savings. And then package C is all of the above.
Yeah.
And so that is 222, and there are 2 bonuses, and one is, I have to get my page here. One is a Lion's Gate holographic group activation that you receive, and that's a 75-minute, both of these are 75 to 90-minute activation. And this particular Lion's Gate was most powerful because I was up on top of the mountain on Lake Superior, where I facilitate my retreat. I usually take a trip there the month before, during the Lion's Gate, to prepare for my retreat, always annually in September. And this was on the mountaintop, so you are getting the Lake Superior energies, which are very, very powerful, having to do with that etheric temple of rejuvenation and revitalization. So that is really cool. And then the Winter Solstice Live Group Activation as well. And that is also a 75 to 90-minute activation, very powerful. So these are, I'm very excited with this package. There is also a $50 off coupon for a second session after the initial session, and then you can schedule that with me. So I invite you also to look at my website, kimregnitz.com. And if you feel like you'd like to do that, sign up for my newsletter. I don't bombard inboxes, but you'll get notified with appearances and like this beautiful Alara appearance that I just really enjoy. And then I have a YouTube channel called I'm Ascending in Truth. And you might notice with my 10 megabytes, there is a little bit of lag, but it does, there's beautiful activations that come through my YouTube channel. It's called I Am Ascending in Truth. And if you like some of the activations, do hit the like button, and I appreciate that. And there's still a little deer in the headlights syndrome with video. So
yes, Kim is very new to the whole YouTube thing. Awesome. Thank you so much, Kim. That was awesome. So
you're welcome.
We're going to do an activation now, right?
Yes.
So I just want to remind everybody again that these 3 special offers are available at alara.at/show/Kim9. So again, package A is the MP3s and 1 or 2 PDFs. Package B is a personal one-on-one session with Kim, a personal transformational session. And then package C includes everything, including some bonuses, the 3 bonuses, okay? For $222.
Yes.
A really good deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yes, and I just want to add that a lot of the people, like in between sessions, the MP3s really help greatly. And you do continue where you left off. So especially if I cannot get to a session, have a lot of people asking now. It's just really interesting because many people are waking up. So they will really assist you too.
Awesome. So. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to do an activation, a holographic activation.
Yes.
Yes. Yay.
All right. Yay. So this feels like an activation with empowering more of your divine mission, especially with Saturn direct right now, what you have learned during this Saturn, this 5-month retrograde period, because a retrograde is always, and it's not really going backwards, it's just more of an inward focus. It's almost like you've really honed some pieces within yourself that have to do with your Dharma, and now it's we're bringing this out. So this is what is showing up right now. So I invite you just to, if you're driving, please listen to this afterwards. I have people that go really deep during these activations, and I would not want to hear of anything occurring. So listen to it later. You are already energetically connected to the activation. So we're just going to allow that harmonizing. And so if you do listen to the replay, you will receive. And if you do listen to the replay after, you will deepen and integrate this experience. So just begin by taking a few deep breaths and letting go any kind of energy that is bubbling up right now, anything that may have surfaced, whether it was my working with others, which resonated with you. Just let that just move out, and invite you to stand in the center of this beautiful circle of energy around you, like standing in the sphere, the circle of energy. And I'm actually standing like in the sphere of Metatron's cube, seeing that beautifully. And now it's becoming 3-dimensionally. And Metatron is actually a bridge. Archangel Metatron actually had a physical incarnation on the earth plane. He and his brother Sandalphon. And actually connects yourself embodied with the angelic realm. And so I'm seeing you standing on this beautiful geometry, this circle of energy. And around you is your I AM team. grounding you, holding space, safe and sacred as we do this work, as we travel timelines, as we travel and navigate dimensions. And if you can, whether you're lying down or sitting up, as best as you can, just if you can have your spine straight, it really helps with the downloads and the energy codes that are coming in right now. And I'm noticing beautiful grape agates, the crystalline being of grape agates. Wow, and it's like weaving around through this circle of energy, this I am energy. Just feeling this energy. It's just like weaving in and out. And I'm feeling the energy around my feet. My feet feel very tingly right now as these energies are coming in and anchoring. So we're just going to ask that all of the energy centers recalibrate your 7 chakras within the body, the 7 light body chakras, the endocrine system. Taking a deep breath, all of the secondary and tertiary chakras, the chi meridians. There we go, just harmonize. Especially if you joined us late and we're not on the initial centering. Noticing the pineal very activated right now. And always in harmony with your own I am presence. And I am not doing anything, I'm just watching the energy as the I am. My I Am Alchemy Team brings this in. And I invite you to notice your body, notice your being, what you're noticing. I'm only able to narrate a small amount of what's actually happening. And so you may be noticing something different than what I'm speaking of, and go with that. That's perfect for you. Wow, and I'm noticing the Sri Yantra pattern, beautiful, in a golden, white, bright light at the field of the heart. And seeing the heart field open, and seeing it being realigned with the upper dimensional temples, the Ascension temples, the crystalline temples. There we go. Gently beginning to expand your energy field, your vibration. Reminding you of who you are. And this is so interesting because it showed up on our activation last night. I'm seeing like, it's like you're being switched on. I'm seeing like all of these switches, like switching on. Like I'm seeing the area of the gonads, the creative juiciness. But it's like all of these areas, and some of the areas have been maybe not lit before, and they're lighting up now. And I'm seeing that. It's almost like I'm seeing a dimmer switch that in certain areas that are just gently moving into the brightness of this. There we go. So I'm just going to pause for a moment because I'm seeing a lot of calibration within the cells of your body as well as the bone, the information stored in the bone. And Saturn really so interesting, rules the area of the knees and the bones. I'm seeing like new information that's being released, and old incongruent energy being released from the bones too. I'm seeing the bones just strengthen. I'm actually seeing the bone marrow within the bones just actually, wow, just revitalize. And I'm feeling the energy from our retreat. We were on some of the rocks that were over 1 billion years old. I'm seeing that rejuvenational temple coming in and actually assisting with the bone marrow, strengthening the vitality, the chi within the very bones of your being. Letting go of any of those incongruent energies of any kind of disqualified, misqualified energy that would be the opposite of that, whether it's osteoporosis, osteopenia. Just let that move out. It's an old thought form that is no longer congruent with this beautiful new earth energies that we are in right now. Beautiful sound tone coming in. Just give yourself a little shake off if you will. Right now, you might want to stretch. I'm feeling like a lot of expansion happening especially in the high heart chakra, the shoulder blades. Noticing that area of the spine, the top of the spinal column, that bone that, well, right below the base of the skull. Noticing a torsion field right here, and it's moving right down through the spinal column. I'm seeing this beautiful interface between the light body chakras and the chakras within the biofield. I'm feeling like you're moving into an upward trajectory with that. Okay, so this is actually activating the DNA. Well, there's several, it's unique for each one of you. But we're working with a 12-strand DNA, and I'm also noticing the multidimensional DNA. Ooh, wow, which moves out into 144-strand DNA at this time. It goes beyond that. That's what I'm noticing. I'm seeing that flower of life pattern that's so prominent within the Metatrons, the geometry. So that's the connection with multidimensional. And when I look at that, when I look at where multidimensional this is taking me, I'm seeing like doors being opened. Like, I don't know, my hands are tingly. And your palm chakras are extenders of the heart field. I'm seeing new doors being opened, skills that you've mastered, and how it connects up with the bones within your perceived physicality. Feeling this harmonizing. This is all harmonizing within the heart field. Noticing the Soma chakra, which is the soul and the physicality, the interface between that. That's a light body chakra, the stellar gateway. Ooh, moving into the soul star. Feeling yourself connected and remembering the divine mission that you are on, and harmonizing and calibrating to this at this time. Again, I'm seeing myself, I'm noticing my feet. This is anchoring right down into the chakras in the feet, down into the earth star chakras. Our stars where your resonant frequency goes out into the grid. We're also seeing the crystalline grid system that this is interfacing with this connection with the light body chakras as well. feeling the power that you hold, feeling the power that you are. And some of you are having subconscious, unconscious patterns of the playing small, or projected patterns, if you will, of others' judgment of you, of who you are. That's just moving up and out of the subconscious, unconscious right now. It does not serve you anymore. Where you are ready to stand into your full mission. Even if you're not aware of what that is. And I'm noticing very slow upgrade. There we go, very gentle. Bringing your field. Like that dimmer switch again. I'm seeing that brighten. There we go, brighter. And seeing this beautiful golden energy. And I'm just seeing the words shine, and I'm hearing the energy of shining bright. And I'm noticing the body elemental assisting with the I AM team through the I AM frequency, moving any energy out that is contrary to shining your light bright. I'm seeing each one of you clairvoyantly around the world in your space as these bright white lights. Very beautiful. Bring in some harmonizing with this right now. And allowing this to move down into the third dimensional, our everyday, day-to-day realities. And I'm noticing the Lemurian crystals really assisting right now. I'm noticing 4 of them at the cardinal points, assisting and holding the energy space. And they were pointing inward. Now I'm noticing them like rods pointing upward. There's 2 that are upward and 2 that are down. As above, so below. As within, so without. As the universe, so shall the soul. In the pineal, just a blaze of light. Seeing beautiful light all the way down through all of the energy centers. And taking a deep breath, focusing on your heart field right now, I invite you to move into one unified field of light within, through, and around your being, so that you're a bright light. And I'm seeing a diamond right now, just a bright, shiny diamond with all of its facets. And it actually has the pyramidal energy, the apex pointing upward, the apex pointing downward. Just seeing the power with this. Beautiful. And taking a deep breath. And just continuing seeing this stepping down into your third dimensional space. So you may choose to stretch and begin to bring your awareness to your space around you. And it's helpful if you just notice things around you and name them, so that you're fully here. This is a very expansive process. And just take your time coming back in. Right now, you're not really leaving your body, you're expanding outward. And I invite you to play with that more. I am fully embodied here now. I'm at all times anchored to my divine source and guidance. Take a deep breath. Beautiful, energetic hug for you. Drink water. Be very gentle with surfaces, what may surface. For this, whatever came through the bone, the activation in the bone, that was most powerful. Just see you as shiny, bright, emanating the chi, the life force through you very powerfully. And everywhere you go, people are affected by your light.
Mm-hmm. That was beautiful. That was so powerful.
Mm-hmm.
That was like beyond. Thank you so much, Kim. That was awesome. I think we're still all coming back slowly but surely.
Mm-hmm.
There was so much in that activation. It's like, oh my God, I can't even go back and pinpoint one thing. Yeah, so beautiful. Absolutely.
So for those of you that are around the world that are, maybe it's your bedtime or getting ready for bed, you can ask that you be taken to the temples of rejuvenation during your sleep state, if that feels right, and that you be just held in the arms within your I Am presence, and that you integrate what you need to integrate within this activation. That's right for you at this time.
Absolutely.
Taking a step further.
We'll definitely do that. We'll definitely do that. And Caroline said, waves and waves of love and light, to say the least. Yes. I don't know what's going on with my throat. It's like I can't even talk.
Recalibrating.
You know? Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
I'll receive it. I'm receiving. No, thank you. That was awesome. So powerful. A powerful call is what people were saying. So much wisdom, so much energy, so many, so yeah, goosebumps. Yeah, it was awesome. Thank you, Kim.
You're welcome. My pleasure.
And for all of you who, who are still here, thank you for being here. Thank you for all of your questions and comments. I know we didn't get to everybody, but thank you. Please do enjoy this activation. Go back and listen to this call again, listen or watch it again, drink lots of water. Bless your water, as Kim had said early on, bless your water and drink lots of water. And if you feel called, please do take a look at the special offer page. Definitely get a personal session with Kim if you can. That is available at alara.at/show/Kim9. Because then she can go deeper with you. For some of you who did get a chance to speak with Kim, she can go deeper with you and work with you. All right, so thank you. Yeah,
you're welcome.
Still clearing, we're still clearing, still integrating. And so you probably will continue for a couple of days, right, Kim?
Yes. Oh, that's a good point. Let me just check here. 5 days. This will continue for 5 days.
Okay,
so meaning that you'll continue to bring in, your I Am team is working with you for the next 5 days with this particular activation. And I'm hearing really a lot to remind you to get into nature, even if you have a house plant, or just connect with nature.
Right.
It will assist.
Awesome. Yeah. So connect with nature. Go for a walk. Connect with your house plant. I have a big money tree, huge money tree. I will connect to that. I'm on my way to my lakefront. Awesome, Caroline. Good for you. Yeah, and drink lots of water. Be gentle with yourself. Listen to your body. What does your body require? Okay, be gentle and nurturing. All right, so thank you, everyone. Until next time, may you continue to be blessed with an abundance of joy, peace, love, happiness, prosperity, and radiant health. Sending you all much love and blessings always. Again, thank you so much, Kim. That was awesome.
Well, thank you for having me.
And next time you'll have higher bandwidth so that you can join us on Zoom.
Video, yes.
Right.
Hopefully soon.
Yes, exactly. Hopefully soon. Awesome. Thank you, everyone. Bye for now.